180. Let's go, baby. They turn over. Get that ball.
A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
At the 23-yard line.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Right. He's telling right.
Mayfield looks to throw. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 14 yards, and it's a Cleveland first down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Now Hunt. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. He lost 6 there on the first down play. It's probably a pretty good sign here on the opening drive if your guys from the secondary are coming up and spilling things in the backfield.
How about the adrenaline and aggressiveness that led his eyes to the backfield to run up there and make that tackle, setting a tone early for his defense.
180. Hey, pick it up, defense. Let's go. Hurry. Who's that? Is that yours? Who's that? 7's in my...
Now on 2nd and 16. Mayfield. It's caught. Beckham. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
The Steelers now in the nickel here on 3rd down. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. Gets this to Kareem Hunt, his running back. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A nice pickup of 23 on the 3rd down conversion. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 36. On 1st down, they'll run with Hunt. And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Double time. 3 down.
First carry for Nick Chubb. Works his way inside the 30 on a pickup of 4.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
3rd and short yardage. Mayfield. He's got his man. That's Landry. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. It was 3rd and short, and they go flying past the marker for a gain of nearly 30 yards.
Check 55, Mike. Stay with your man. Check 50. Alert. SOS. Blue draw Corkers. SOS. Under 10. 10.
They'll try to run with Hunt. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. They'll run with Hunt on 2nd down. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6. They call that a loss of 6 yards. And it's 3rd down now. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal?
Single.
Play clock down to 3, and we're going to get a timeout here. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal?
Run. 55's my guy.
From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. And it'll be intercepted. Good positioning, and it's picked off. And they'll have the football, but deep in their own territory as he's brought down at the 5.
70, Indy.
Now the Auburn product, Corey Grant. And all the way to the 25 before he's hit and dropped. Just like that, a pickup of 20 on their first play from scrimmage.
Hey,
On first down, Daniels. He'll find Juju Smith-Schuster. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 12 yards that time, and a Pittsburgh first. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Hey, high 7.
Looking to throw. Daniels going top shelf for Smith-Schuster. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10.
53 to Mike. 53. Check 53. Check pass. Topper. Check that. Shoot.
To throw again. Daniels. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And, Charles, part of the reason they lost last week, they didn't have a single sack. Well, they changed that quickly.
But did they ever? And it was something they talked about with us extensively. They needed to get pressure. How were they going to get to the quarterback? Obviously, they schemed themselves into a great play, didn't they?
Throwing on 3rd and long. Daniels. And the pressure gets to him again. Myles Garrett in there for the sack, and it's an important one from a personal standpoint as that is sack number 100 in what has certainly been a terrific career to this point. And this is away, and I don't think Landry will get a chance to return here. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. The Cleveland offense ready to go. Well, they were intercepted the first time they had the football, but now they get it back, and it's still 0-0.
And because of that, you know what the thought process is? Interception. What interception? It didn't really happen because they gave up no points. So go back on the attack. Go back and run the offense you believe will be successful. Find your playmakers and give them the football.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Mayfield. He's got Njoku, his big tight end. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end. A guy that you can line up anywhere. In the slot, out wide, in tight. Doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. A good play there as the Browns strike for 16 and a first down.
Well, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think it'll help set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Here's a throw out wide complete to his running back right side. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
180! It's our time. It's our time, guys. It's our time.
Mayfield on play action. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Devin Bush. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him. Mayfield and this Browns offense staring at a 3rd and long now after the sack. 3rd and long for Mayfield. And that's knocked away and incomplete.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Boy, nowhere to go at all on that first down run as they will get to him behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. Well, that play was doomed right from the start.
He just about ran into every defender on that one, didn't he? It felt like everyone got a piece of that tackle.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Check out 3. Check 3. Check 3. Hey, Alpha.
2nd and 11. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. And he's dropped just shy of the 25 at the 24. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
2nd and 6. Open man completes it to Smith-Schuster. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. The Steelers able to pick up 18 yards there. Couple of first downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. Operating from the gun, Daniels. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes. To throw on 3rd down, Daniels. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Seems as if the passing attack's starting to heat up a little bit here in the 2nd quarter.
You can sense and you can see the momentum because now they're reading their patterns downfield, they're understanding the coverages, and they're finding the open holes in the defense.
Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. 2 minutes on the clock in what's been a scoreless first half. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
Meanwhile, this one knocked down in the backfield. It's incomplete. An 8-play drive to this point. So here's play number 9 on 3rd and 7. From the gun, Daniels. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 18. He was looking that time for Stills. Defensively that time, they were in zone coverage. As a rookie QB, what lesson can you learn there?
Well, understand this. You saw zone in college, and the defensive backs reacted, but they don't react like they do on this level. So when they're in zone and they see the ball coming to them, they'll react at least a half a second faster. You've got to know where you want to go with the ball and be decisive with it. Otherwise, the end result can be something you don't like.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. They go play action. Mayfield. And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Mayfield in this Browns offense staring at a 3rd and long now after the sack. Mayfield from the gun on 3rd down. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And this one goes sailing out of bounds. Where did it cross? Well, they're going to say on this side of midfield.
Ready? 10-2 stop. What we got? What we got? What we got? Check. 53. Come on. Check. Look at me. Go. Hard. Shoot.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
But that's what you're looking for when you're wanting to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Juju Smith-Schuster, his 6th touchdown of the season, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. Extra point right down the middle, and it's now a 7-0 game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken about 7 yards deep.
Get ready.
The Browns drive about to get started. Inside of a minute left in the half. Does the fact that you're down on the scoreboard influence what you do, or I guess don't do on this final drive?
It certainly does, but what...
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. He's picked off just shy of midfield, and they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line.
70, Indy. Hey, lock it.
On 1st and 10, Daniels. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play.
Ready?
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Watch the run.
Operating from the gun, Daniels. That'll be taken in there by James Washington. The Steelers signal for the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete. Demarius Randall that time there to knock it free. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Throwing again. Daniels. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So on third down, the field goal unit will come out as they'll try to get 3 before half. And this will be a 45-yard attempt. And this one is right through. So a big play before the end of the half to get them into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'd love to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
Regular.
Final play of the half, Mayfield. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down. So we are at halftime here on Halloween, as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, so time for the second half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the third quarter. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys, they're tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments. One play has them up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. From the gun, Daniels. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10.
Switch. 6-6. Pull it high. Deep river.
On the ground, Rodgers.
I got you, boy.
And that's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. And they're going to have another 1st down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 35. This quarterback now 11 of 17 passing thus far. He's got his guys a 1st and 10. Back to throw. Daniels over the middle, hauled in by Smith-Schuster. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
And they're going to have another 1st down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 17-yard line. This quarterback now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10.
Protein spill. 5. Leo. Come on, baby. 5.
Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. That is caught. It's Juju for the Steeler touchdown. Juju Smith-Schuster, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes our score 17-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go.
The Browns take over first and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Mayfield. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. 39 yards there. A big one. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well. They'll get them
under a heavy rush, and down he goes. The sack by T.J. Watt, or as his mother Connie calls him, Trent Jordan Watt.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and end up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. After the sack on first down, Mayfield.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
And he'll go down at the 26, following a gain of 6. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Daniels. And Stills bringing it in. And down inside the 15 he goes.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down, because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection.
Bravo. Let's go. Let's go.
Throwing on first down. Daniels. He's got the hook up to Lazard. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Hey, wahoo!
2nd and 3. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Able to get there and pick it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They've got a pretty comfortable lead right now, but maybe a little too careless with the football that time for the rookie.
I think the key word there is comfortable. And there's two schools of thought on it. With that type of a lead, maybe you can take a few more chances because you have a cushion. Others will tell you, don't eat up the cushion with careless play. He'll learn to ride that line as he moves on in his career.
Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Hunt. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 3.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this.
And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack.
Every time, it's a sack.
The Browns send out their punter now as he's on to kick it away. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And the punt goes out of bounds. Where will they put it? They'll put it just inside the 45-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. With this lead and the football, things obviously looking good, but maybe, you've taught me this before, maybe this is where the defense is hoping that the offense helps them preserve that shutout that they've got going.
And it has to be in the minds of the offense that they know how rare it is to get a shutout. So take care.
And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Corey Grant, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. Well, he's used to running it that distance. Here he had to catch it, too, before making the run. Heck of a play for the score.
There's not many things better for an offense than a back who's a complete guy, who can run it and catch it. And we just saw him complete a big-time play for a touchdown.
This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
Let's go, son.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33.
Slam.
Here's Mayfield. Pressure comes, and down goes Baker Mayfield. T.J. Watt able to record his 5th sack of the season.
I remember throughout my career hearing defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. Now Mayfield on 4th down. They'll let it go deep for Beckham. And they hit him as he throws, as this one's going to go straight down to the turf. Incomplete. The Browns unable to move the chains on 4th down. And the Steelers, they're going to take over an excellent field position. Here's a run on 1st down that doesn't accomplish anything. In fact, he's going to be tackled behind the line for a loss of 1. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, but it'll be 2nd down. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Check. Look. Squeeze. Get it.
Looking to throw. Daniels. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest ones, maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. The Browns drive about to get started. And on that last drive, went for it on fourth, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on fourth down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
And he'll be stopped right at midfield. Just what the Browns needed there. Good for a gain of 17. Mayfield now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Mayfield finding Beckham. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. Now the Steelers use the second of their 3 timeouts. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this fourth quarter. To throw again on second down. Mayfield. And that one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football here. Nearly a 4th pick. And it's 3rd down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Mayfield to throw for it on 4th. And this is going to be incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And this Steeler defense able to come up with a stop. Well, that's another mistake there on the drop pass on 4th. And we've seen him do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game or win the game all game long. That's another example right there. It all boils down at the end of it to execution. Either you make the play or you don't.
Tackle made there by Myles Garrett. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
The Steelers on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5.
Hey, Echo.
Operating from the gun, Daniels. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
Now a throw here going to be taken in by the tight end, Njoku. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out. Now they have a little more space to maneuver from the 15, 1st and 10. To throw, Mayfield. Got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Now Mayfield. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 47. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
No, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out. And no one wants to go back to those memories. But, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that, a team put 70. I actually saw it happen twice. A team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of the guard games where a team that hadn't been very good before now was dominating and kicking around a team who had been ruling their division.
And that's when you earn your paycheck, right? As the analyst, you got to fill that time.
You got to know what's going on out there and how it all happened.
Well, obviously that begs the question, what game was it?
That was Seattle hosting Los Angeles, the Rams.
Yeah.
Their second meeting of the season, and the Rams turned it around from the first one and blew out the Seahawks.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Hey, we got Mike. You're out. Mike 53. Hey, Delta.
That one looks like he'll throw here. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. They're still throwing the football here, and obviously the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Give me some. Here we go.
To throw again, Daniels. And this one's incomplete. He was trying to get that one to Kenny Stills. And it's 3rd down. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it, when you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off inside the 5. And he will take it out to the 25-yard line. Trying to get it that time to Stills. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning, threw 28 his rookie year.
And now here is another interception. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it, and they will take over at the 26-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll get it with just a shade under a minute to go in the game. That first down completion only netted them 3. 2nd and 7.
On the ball. Get it.
And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Now the Steelers going to use their 3rd and final timeout. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside.
Mike 53. Smith. You don't want none. Hey. Go. You don't want it. Switch it. Come on, switch it. Hey, Haywood. Mike 53. Now go.
On first down, Daniels. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
Check, 53 is mine. 3 bucks.
Back to the air on second down. Daniels is going to float this one. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 18. Well, you just kind of feel for him right now. 4 interceptions, and you can almost see through his face mask. There's a lot going on in between the ears.
There certainly is, and probably way too much, because now he's probably doubting himself a little bit, wondering what adjustments he has to make. But here's what he needs to do. Get through this game. Go to the press conference, meet it head on, and show your teammates you're ready to shoulder what happened today, and you'll be ready for the next game.
And if he can do that as a rookie, that's a great sign of maturity.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. From the gun, Mayfield. He's got his tight end, David Njoku. The Browns will quickly use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 22 ticks to go in the 4th.
Watch tight. Tight end's right. Watch tight. Tight end's right. Hey. We got 3. 3 down. 3 down.
A first down throw from Mayfield. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Jarvis Landry, the intended receiver, but it's going to be second down.
It leads to 2nd and 10.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. And again, it's Mayfield. And my goodness, another interception. It's Devin Bush, the linebacker, who picks it. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. 10. 5. And he's in for 6 and a Steeler touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
So we had action to the very end of this one, the score on the final play that they didn't need to have. They didn't just run out the clock, though. They added to their final total.
Played it all the way to the end, and you know some coaches preach that and tell their teams that's what I want all the time, and they feel like if they don't do it themselves, they're not living up to the message that they're sending out.
So for the Steelers, they remain one of the hottest teams out there as the win moves them to 6-1. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Browns, they dipped to 2-5 now with the loss. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew,